Hello folks, welcome to Netcruzer RC. I've got a new RC to show you today. Something I ordered finally came in. I have shown this in a hobby shop as the demo units were arriving, but I ordered it for myself. I couldn't resist the LOSI Tenacity DB Pro. Yes! One of the newest RCs on the market right now. This is the Tenacity DB Pro with all the new Spectrum smart electronics. So, let's get right into it. I have already taken it out of the box just because I really wanted to get a look at it and start checking it over, because it's about to rain for like 3 days in a row and I want to try and get out there and run it before everything gets just totally soaked. But I want to show you some stuff about this, and then we'll go take it for a quick little drive on 2S LiPo to start for the first day. But you get a fully aluminum chassis on the bottom, really nice. The design is awesome. This is a LOSI Tenacity DB Pro. It's got a flip up lid. You pop the top off and they're connected, which is awesome. Plastic, but this is all caged. Wow, I didn't really remember this, that this is all caged on the inside here. You've got all the new Spectrum electronics inside of here. The layout's really convenient too. If I ever want to change any of this stuff, it looks very simple to do. And the battery tray, which apparently that's what this riser is for. You also do get the battery tray risers. They're in here. These pieces here, you get a basic set of Allen wrenches, a plastic wheel wrench, pinion, smaller size pinion actually, for when you go to 3S. You've got shocks that have metal bodies, metal caps, fully adjustable turnbuckle links, the new Spectrum Firma 130 amp ESC, a Spectrum 6100 AT receiver, a very clean looking chassis where it's very simplistic, where you've just got your, it looks like everything's very easy to work on, a traditional stick pack LiPo tray, and back here is the motor. A Spectrum Firma 3150 kV motor. Also do get a light kit in this. The design of it is really awesome, where you've got this rear wing cage, the whole body is caged. Short little DB style bumpers. You get a front sway bar and a rear sway bar. I don't think I noticed that previously. That's awesome. For the price that they're asking for this thing kicks the butt out of the build quality of a Slash. Hopefully it's stronger too. It also has full metal CVDs. These are perfectly adequate for bashing. These axles are going to be very strong and efficient. Should be awesome. This thing's going to be great in the winter too with the open wheels. It's going to roost like mad. It's going to be sweet. And in the interior you get molded 2 drivers and an interior. Really awesome cage. It's a 4-wheel drive vehicle, 10th scale. It is designed off of the LOSI 10 SCT-E platform, which has been around for quite a while, but then they rebranded it as the Tenacity, which added a lot of plastic and it was lower end. And then they came out with the Tenacity upgrade kit, which was the Pro kit, which added all of the things this has, which is the metal chassis, metal shock towers, the metal shocks, all of the upgraded links. This one comes with all of the upgrades already installed, plus all the new Spectrum smart electronics, which we'll play with later on. IC5 connector, but I am going to be using this adapted with a EC5 to Dean's adapter to get started, because I have no batteries that are IC or EC at all, so I bought a little adapter so I can now use that just to get started. ESC will be able to detect just the standard voltage of the LiPo packs, and when you do pair it with a better remote control, you would be able to get the full data. The remote control that you get with this is the DX2E Active. It is a fairly simplistic remote control, although it does have a lot of upgradability in that you can add a Bluetooth module to it and you can get the smart features to show up on your smartphone. Now, I'm probably going to choose not to do that. I think what I'll do is end up upgrading the remote instead to a better Spectrum remote that has a screen on it and that has the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built in, because this one, I really do not like the plastic big wheel that you get on this. This is the same type of wheel that you get on the Spectrum STX2, and I do not like it. It's too big, it's plastic, it feels cheap, and there's no way to really improve that. Other than that, the feel of it seems okay. It's quite heavy for what it is. It's also quite girthy. It's a big remote. And anyway, it takes 4 AA's, which nicely enough are included. This is an officially licensed product where you can get it in 2 styles, Lucas Oil or Fox. I went for the Lucas Oil. So yeah, this is a proven platform. This is based off of a race truck that they've now designed as a desert buggy, so it does have a lot of features that I like. The Tenacity DB Pro includes a full metric hardware package and aluminum features the competition sells as option parts, and scale to size Falcon, Wildpeak, MT tires, and Method wheels. These tires are vented on the inside, but it's always good to poke holes in them. It's counterintuitive, guys, but seriously, poke holes in your tires because water gets in and it can't get out, and that destroys axles, it destroys wheels, everything. So poke little holes in. You can either use a body reamer or a drill bit. I prefer the body reamer method as of recently, or you can use an X-Acto knife and just make a slit. You can have it every 180 or every 90. That just lets the water fling out. Hey look, it's a LOSI body reaming tool. This tool is actually really great. Actually, if you work on any bodies and you can find one of these, this thing is awesome. I've had it for a few years. I love it. It's great. It's got a really nice storage handle so you don't stab anything. And it's got a seal on it. And there's a gauge on it. Now that's good for making precise holes in bodies. Now I have been using it lately to poke holes in tires, so it's a little bit gummed up. Probably not the ideal tool for this, but this is what I do. So you find a spot in between a tread and you just poke and turn. And then you'll hear it go. Just spin as you go. You're just putting a little hole in there to let the water fling out through centrifugal force. And then I'm going to do it every 90. Might as well. That's great. Oh, the other thing is suspension tuning. This thing seems to be very well tuned out of the box, where it doesn't come across on video, but the rear is nice and soft versus the front is nice and stiff. The front is significantly stiffer than the rear, as well as all of the geometry of things looked correct to me, except for it had a lot of toe out. Between 1 to 3% toe in on the rear is usually what you want, and that looks pretty good. And then on the front you want a little bit of toe out, but to me this one specifically seems like it's way out. So I'm going to bring this back in a bit and then we'll be ready to rock. But these turnbuckles though, I cannot find a wrench to use them, so I'm going to have to go with my infinitely adjustable turnbuckle wrench, because I've tried a 8, I've tried a 7, and I've got a 4, and none of them fit. So it must be a 5 mil. You just keep twisting until you make sure you're going the right way. I want less toe out, so I'm going to adjust that a bit. Pop this cover off and just check to see, make sure what the gear mesh is like. I want to feel it before the first run and make sure that everything is looking right. This is awesome, guys. 1 2 mil screw. Just pop that hex up, and then you can pop this right off and get at your gear mesh. You can actually see your mesh unlike a slash where you can't see anything. Just want to go all the way around, make sure there's no hard spots. Seems great. That's what you want, just a little bit of rock. And then there is no slipper because this is a 4-wheel drive with a oil diff. So it's just all based on diff weight is your center drive train. On how much power goes front and rear is all based on how much oil is in the center diff, the rear diff, and the front diff. So that's all tunable via oils. Power on. Nice. So give a little chirp, confirmation, beep beep, 2S LiPo, and yeah, ready to go. Also, light bar is on. It's bright. It's bright even on 2S. So on 3S is probably going to be very bright. Now, unlike the Traxxas where you have to apply throttle input first, this one seems to work all the time, no matter what. So wow, okay. AVC rate looks like it's around that 50% window that is ideal. So we will try it, but then I'll likely be turning it off because it's nice to counter steer yourself. Ooh, but the bell crank servo saver system does seem like it's fairly weak. It's easy to, like, if I try and I can that's me moving the servo saver system. It's very soft. Well, I don't know if there's a way to tighten that up, but I would prefer if that would be tightened up, but we'll see. It should save the servo. This fan is running all the time versus being thermally controlled, it seems, and it's just so it's a smart ESC with a fairly dumb fan. That's too bad. I do like it when it ramps up fan speed based on temps. And we have a button that will not get jarred based on impacts. It is a push button start, which is cool. On a lot of RCs where it's a toggle switch, you have a really hard impact and then the switch turns off. Now I should do radio calibration, but I just quickly check to see how much engagement do I have before it starts. I've got a little bit, so I could improve it, but we'll see. And then reverse is also very sensitive, so it's close. And I might want to adjust my steering trim too, as it looks like it's quite a bit off of center. You get a pretty good instruction manual with this RC. It actually goes through a bunch of setup stuff, which I do really appreciate, where it shows you how to calibrate your remote control, how to check the setup of the adjustable turnbuckles, how to check your steering throws, and and throttle responsiveness, how to program the ESC, as well as a bunch of other little smart things that you can upgrade to, as well as if you want to add additional racing style upgrades to your car, they are recommending MIP. MIP axles, MIP bypass shock pistons are coming soon, as well as you can get an MIP Mod 1 spur gear. Most of these things are kind of lightweight components for racing that you wouldn't necessarily need for a desert buggy, as this really isn't a class that you race with. I just bought it because it looks super cool. It's also the first LOSI vehicle on the market that comes with all the new smart electronics, and it also is a Tenacity platform that has all of the upgrades already on it. So value for money, really good with this. It's going to calibrate the wheel so that that setting is still straight. I don't quite understand that. I don't quite understand why they would do that. That seems really weird. So make sure that whenever you power it on, it does say this in the book, to make sure that your trim dials are centered, because it seems like every time you power on this vehicle, it does a self-calibration, which I'm not sure how you're supposed to trim it out then later. I don't know. All right, let's go for a run on 2S. It is a very overcast day out today, so the GoPro footage usually looks terrible at that, so I've got my mirrorless camera out. We're going to run this for the first time. This is 2S LiPo. Really, this is just my first little impressions of it. Remember, this is on a 17-tooth pinion. Whoa, it's really trying to overcompensate. Trying to maybe dial that down a bit. This is now AVC off, I believe. Nope, that's AVC max. So we want AVC, got to dial that down. So even at 50%, it was wobbling like crazy. So let's go to around 20% AVC. This is pretty good for 2S. Nice. It is waterproof electronics. That looks pretty cool. Whoop. First impressions is that the steering is very weak in that bell crank system. I do need to tighten that up. It seems very loose, as it does pull the vehicle kind of aside as you run it. Again, tracking is straight, but this is on that weird receiver where it auto calibrates every time. It is an uncensored system, so slow speed throttle, it does cog a bit if you go really slow until you get rolling. So, you know, that's just something to be aware of. There's a bit of a grinding noise happening, which is weird because I did check. Oh. Maybe a little jump in the backyard. This is on 2S still. This is still the very first run. Never been adjusted. See how it jumps. Nothing has been touched. This thing will be amazing on 3S. That AVC is definitely way more aggressive than Traxxas TSM is. I have it set at maybe 20%, and I still think it's too much. Oh, that jumps beautifully. See it autocorrect? That's the car, not me. Huh, it is saving it every time. That's nice. I mean, it's kind of cheating, but it's nice. Whoop, missed. Oh, if that leaf was in the way, it would have looked so good. Oh, that's beautiful. Whoa! Whoa, there was some durability testing. Awesome. Alright guys, that's first run with my new LOSI Tenacity DB Pro. Really like this thing. It's just going to get better. I'm going to put 3S in it, and then we'll tweak some of this smart stuff. We'll make videos about the smart technology, other little impressions as we get along. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching.